We are live. Hey, what's up, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch? John, this is my pal James. He's going to start us today.
How do you do? All right. Today's subject is making goals, and being that a lot of what we talk about centers around addiction and recovery, I'm going to sort of start off talking about making goals towards your own recovery, um, and then we'll go a little bit into making goals in general. A lot of techniques and ideas and how to achieve those goals. Um, everywhere you see it's going to say uh, write down your goal, right? That's something that I didn't do for sobriety. I never wrote down quit drinking alcohol. Um, but I mean, I guess because it was always completely in the forefront of my mind that I needed to quit drinking alcohol. It wasn't something that I could ever forget. And while I was drinking, it was always reminding me there, like, hey, this is killing me, But if that does help you, go ahead and write that down. Um, so one of those goals would be to become sober, and how to achieve that goal. One of the good ways to start that off is to start joining groups, AA, Smart Recovery. Uh, Start seeing your psychologist, your therapist, find other activities, but definitely uh, start off with that. They're a good foundation. They work for a lot of people. They could work for you. Maybe you don't quite believe in it, but if you're genuine about quitting, and that's important to you, you'll pretty much do whatever you can, whatever you have to get to that goal. We know that this is something that's been beating us, and uh, we're trying to find absolutely any way out of it, pull any string available to us.
Absolutely.
Uh, what do you feel? Uh, so I had down here quit cold turkey,
Oh,
right?
oh, hey, yikes.
I knew that it wouldn't be one of your
Woo.
preferred.
No
You try to
sleep,
do
you're
this
sweating at night, irritable
top of
during
the
the day.
hour,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I'm not even doing that right now. I'm on a bit of a vacation from that. For top of the hour. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of pick a pack and just see if I can burn that pack down and then go to the next pack.
Uh, yeah. You know,
It is a goal, however, I will say, to quit smoking tobacco. And yeah, I
yeah.
like what you're putting down here.
I haven't jotted that one down in my to-do list yet. It's more like it's one of the activities that I do to keep me from drinking.
Yeah.
That might make sense to a whole lot of people. Um, eh, so quitting cold turkey um can seem like a really hard endeavor. And if you try it and then you have issues and you falter with that, there's going to be many reasons why quitting in that manner didn't work. Um, if say you're quitting alcohol and you're sitting there at your desk the very next day, like I am now, and like something's missing, my can of beer is missing, um, well, you need to make sure that you think about what you do need. You need to have multiple drinks uh, available of variety. This one's empty, but it will be full again in a minute. Um, so that could just be one facet of why you had such a difficult time quitting that way. There's no denying that quitting any of these things is going to be a very painful experience at first. So you have to do what you can to instill those comfort measures that can help ease that pain. Uh, becoming aware of that pain, knowing that pain is a very important part of this, I think as well. Uh, we've been poisoning our body, and there's a recourse to that whenever we try to escape from it. We start to have uh, the withdrawals. I forgot what that word was for a second because it's been such a long time. Um, some people may need to to the hospital. It depends on the severity of your case. If you other hospital like measures are checking into rehab, or if you need to uh, get some medication while you're going through detox, like Ativan or something like that, then take that chance. Go ahead and go into the hospital. Don't be embarrassed about that.
Nothing wrong with detoxing in the hospital. I don't think there is, especially if it saves your life. Keeps you out of
And
jail, potentially from doing harm to other people.
yeah, and nothing wrong with rehab as well. A lot of people, they go to rehab and they relapse after that. Oh, that's all just part of the process. It may take 2 or 3 rehabs before all the cards come into line for you to finally be free of this illness. Um, and as you're joining these programs, and potentially going to rehab or whatever, you're going to start running into people that are of similar situation. Some of them in far worse shape than you are, and that can help encourage or remind you of, hey, I definitely don't want to be that way. Not to hate on anybody, because the struggle is different for everyone, but that was something that uh, I I took note of. I appreciated the lesson, and seeing people that were in a having a much more difficult time with withdrawal, and on a level, shaking and on all that kind of stuff for days and days.
Yeah.
For me, it was just the first few days, and then I was able to move on from that. So I didn't need, a constant stream of medication to ease that. And some people will definitely need something like that. So if you're trying to quit, and you're trying to quit at home, and you're sitting there and you got no drinks, no alternatives, no nutrition in your house, uh, and no friends, no people to call, no recourse, no response for whenever you're having that moment where you feeling like you're going to cave. Then you're not setting up these parts that can make you ultimately be able to achieve the goal of sobriety. And then just always remember that there's going to be a period of time where it's biting down, grit and bear, uh, suffering for a little bit. And once you become comfortable with that, and know that that has to happen, it's easier to go through that process. And then at a certain point, you're going to just be able to release that pain, release all that desire. You're gonna hopefully forget that you were ever the addict that way entirely. That would be the ultimate goal, is to where it's something that's not constantly in the forefront of your mind. But if you are, uh, say a couple weeks into recovery, and you're still thinking about it a lot, you need to ensure that you have enough activities and distractions, good people, all these things to keep you moving in a positive direction, rather than away from sobriety. So that said, if you do relapse, or you do go to rehab and then relapse and all that, don't beat yourself up too bad about it, because you learned a lot during those good periods, and it may take a couple of those periods to finally get over this. There, there's a lot of of good small steps that you can take in recovery, and you hear it a lot, but do the next right thing, and if you take a pause and consider that, hey, stop it. Uh, take a pause and sorry,
Okay.
consider that before you do anything, then it can help avoid that. I mean, for example, if you're sitting there and you say, well, I just want to have one drink, right? Well, obviously that's not the next right thing. The next right thing would be to call your buddy, would be to go to the gym, do something entirely different than whatever that is. And then of course, as you do make progress, I mean that's one of the good parts about AA. They have this coin system. It seems kind of goofy at first, but I'm looking at my desk right now, and I got 4 coins down there, and it's something I can be real proud of. Each of those can be miniature goals, to make it to that 1 month or several months
Well, yeah,
or whatever.
that's what they are. They are milestones, and they are to symbolize you reaching that milestone. That's progress, a symbol of your actual progress. I'm proud of you for having those. I have one. I don't think I've ever gone to get a 1 month, but I have the starter coin, the I choose to be sober coin.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's cool that you have those.
yeah, I got that guy too.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
lost him for a while. Uh, yeah, and sometimes you might have to get that coin a few times. What do they call it? If your coin's wet, you can get a new one, you know?
If your coin's wet, you can do.
All right, so I'll deviate a little bit away from sobriety and just talk a little bit in general about making goals. Um, an important part about making goals is clearly discovering and defining what that goal could be. If you need to take a moment and brainstorm something that you would like to accomplish. Uh, the if you're sitting there and you got nothing going on, then you need to spend some time thinking about what you would want to achieve, because we can all have goals, however small, however large. Um, and then once you define what the goal is, you need to make a path, a plan, uh, essentially break it down into smaller parts and put them into a sequence and priority of what you need to work on first. Uh, After you have some idea of what you need to do each day, you need to each day do something about it. You need to make a little bit of progress on whatever it is that you have written down. Um, if if you want, if a goal you might have is, you want to be able to play music, right? Well, you know that it's impossible to just pick up an instrument and start playing it right away. So when you identify that is your goal, then you break it down into smaller steps. Okay, what is before making music? It's like, all right, learn how to play a song. Okay, well, that's maybe still a little too hard. So, all right, I'm gonna learn how to play a chord, and hopefully, you can get a grasp on that. If you can't get a grasp on that, then hopefully you can be able to play a single note and identify what that note is. And so once you've generated these steps, you found out what you have to practice, and then you start to practice and you go back up from playing a single note to playing chords to playing a group of chords to playing a song to playing music. But you could do that with any sort of goal. I A goal that I need to work on again is my finances. I find that stresses me out a lot more. And, so I can't just write down become a millionaire as my goal,
Might be a good
right?
long-term goal.
Yeah.
Doesn't help you in the short term very much.
Uh, so, the thing would be to try to identify what are some parts of financial freedom and success
For me,
that
I gotta be able to hold on to $100 for longer than a week and it not go anywhere, me not spend it, not transfer it to a friend or anything like
yeah,
that. But yeah,
yeah,
it's funny you bring up
man.
finances. I've identified finances as an area that could use some improvement in my life too. I can set some good financial goals, um,
Uh,
and and benefit from from working to achieve them. But yeah, it's little
yeah,
milestones. You save up to a million. $1 at a time.
yeah. So let's brainstorm a little bit about things we could do in our life, creating smaller goals that would ultimately realize financial success. I'll kick it off with uh, buy your food from the grocery store, right? Don't go with fast food every day,
Not
right?
every day. It's a couple of days a
Not-
week.
Here and there, here and there.
Yeah,
If you go, if you got to narrow it down a little bit, three
little.
times a week, start there. That's all right, man.
Make it a goal. Fast food less than 7 times a week.
Yeah, and
That's a good one
that
though. Buying at the grocery store.
it's unfortunate that restaurants, some of them are so damn good. I mean, you know how me and you we got to have that Indian food sometimes, man.
Uh-huh.
I can't make that, but so we kind of try to accommodate those things as you you arrange it so that you can afford the Indian food twice a month, you know,
Right.
uh, regardless of you don't. It's like you don't have to wait for the sale or anything like that. You're like, this is my day for this kind of food. You get this magical drink, I'll get this magical drink. These are not alcoholic, by the way. These are like mango lassi or something like that.
Right.
And truly enjoy and covet the experience whenever you get it. A lot of times people just go through their day and it's like, oh, I get hungry, like, I got to eat something. Bam, number two, supersize. I know they don't do that no more. You cram it in your body, and then your body is full for a minute, but it doesn't get nutrition. So it's kind of like
Right.
one of those things that it doesn't it goes against your goal doing that. Whereas if you're going to the grocery store and get your groceries there, you're eating healthy, nutritious stuff. You're gonna eat you're going to eat a lot less wasteful food. You're going to eat food that actually does something for your body. You'll feel good. You'll feel nutritionally affected, and be able to eventually save in that manner. Uh, Another one for me, and this affects me both physically and financially. It's like this can right here is
Mm-hmm.
$5 and change. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
And it, I have a similar problem with this can as I did with beer cans. When this can is empty, when it's light,
Yeah.
I start feeling like I need another can, you know? And there's a store just up the way, and I got another $5. Um, you know, so that's something that I could definitely cut out, and it's not that difficult to cut it out. Again, that's a drink thing. So if I add in a smaller goal of making sure I start a pot of coffee every morning, uh, then I can avoid spending cash on that. And then that builds up to eventually having some more financial freedom.
Yeah.
Uh, I everybody makes mistakes with their finances, and I'm definitely guilty of that.
Same.
Uh, my I have a Saab car and I blew it up recently. So what do? I go out and I buy an economical Honda for $2,000. No, that's not what I do. I went out and I bought another Saab for 7 grand and I'm broke again. You know what I mean? It's like not the smartest decision by any stretch of the imagination.
Got a new
And
car.
got a new car, man. I gotta have it. And there's going to be things like that in
And
life, and
you didn't finance it either. I would point out. Paid in
no,
cash.
yeah.
No payments on that
You're
baby.
I went from savings, no savings.
Cars will do
Oh,
that.
yeah, well, I'll try to get back there, but perhaps I could have made a better decision. If I had any kind of credit, maybe I could have financed it and kept a little cushion there. Uh, but hopefully, th this vehicle is going to be a reliable vehicle for me, not like the rest of my Saabs, and it'll I'll get my worth out of it. Um, but yeah, so try to figure out what is a direct need versus want, and that was heavy in the want category. In the need category, I needed something that rides real smooth, and
And the runs
you
from the
know,
law.
and it runs from the law because they're coming, but they're gonna find me. Well, I wonder how many times I've been going 110 down the highway and they've just been like, "Phew, well, I ain't chasing him." Now drive safe, America. So we're still kind of in the phase of brainstorming different parts of our lives that we could change or alter to get to financial freedom. And
Having maybe having one account designated as your savings and your financial storage.
yeah,
That's where you keep your bulk, and try not to touch it, as it is it's your nest eggs, your savings. You want to have something for later. If you're not thinking about retirement, you will eventually be thinking about retirement, and you will also probably, if you have a family, you'll want to have something to give to them when you pass away. So I don't know. If that doesn't motivate you, I mean, just having a savings benefits your life tremendously, to have $1,000 on hand in case you need to go to the doctor, in case you have a couple of doctor's visits and some expensive medicine. There's just lots of good reasons to make a financial goal. Um,
yeah,
I appreciate you talking about finances. It allows me to talk about mine a little more freely, as we're just friends here. But
yeah.
but yeah, if for all
The
you
the
scammers out
savings.
there trying to get $1,000, oh, you got a cute kitty cat on your belly. All you scammers trying to get our money, we don't got it. We ain't got
We're
it. We spend
good.
it too fast.
Uh-huh. That's right. There's nothing there. Are you too late? Oh shoot, man.
We could make financial goals of maybe by the end of the year, try to have a good nest egg in one particular account. Get our nest egg back. I'm coming up on a
Yeah.
summer change soon, and I'm planning on buying not a car but two electric bicycles with it. But this conversation and other factors in my life that I won't share do make me strongly consider not buying electric bikes and just trying to keep the money. But I know I'll spend the money on a laptop or a computer or something like that. If I don't buy electric bikes with it, it's gonna get spent
Yeah, you better
somehow.
invest that money in something real quick where it goes to the Stop and Shop or whatever down the street. That's a lot of packs of cigarettes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so that's a great point. You have a particular area that you save your money. It's a good way to isolate a goal. You have your checking account. A lot of people have a savings account that's right here next to it. And every time you see your checking account, you see that savings account, you're like, let me have that. And it goes right in. That's how my savings account's always
Uh-huh.
been.
Yeah.
Uh, but the other way is to have a savings account that's way the hell over here that you can forget about, right? And that's it's hard to forget about it, but that you kind of have to try to do that. Uh, I don't really have one of those yet, but what I'm working on as a small step to even getting that savings account
Mhm.
is, I have these apps like Cash App and Venmo, uh, and a lot of times I shoot people money, and then when it gets paid back, it just stays there in a pile in
Yeah.
that app, and then I go back and I got a few $100s there. Um, so that's kind of a way that I put that account way over here. I mean, I still know it's over there,
Yeah.
just in case
Still crosses
when
your
it,
mind from time to time.
Yeah, when the end of the month comes around, if there's no money, I'm gonna go
Go
to that
check
hole.
there. Go check your nest egg.
Yeah, right. How many packs of cigarettes are in there? Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke one.
uh, shoot, I don't know where my phone is. Oh, it's in my pocket. Um,
Quitting a substance or an activity that is costing you money. Maybe you spend money on pornography and you'd like to let pornography go out of your life. You point at me.
no, I was pointing at me.
Oh, that's honesty. I've spent on that before. I admit not very much, but it's a good thing for somebody to reduce. I think that one can definitely overdo that, and I can see how one could get addicted to adult content, adult
Yeah,
media content, pornography.
and it's all over the place. That's definitely a good thing to try to cut out if you're trying to save some bucks, because you just feel like an empty, dirty bastard afterwards. What have I done? Oh, I spent $200 to have some girl say ice cream, or whatever the new trend is lately. I'm a cowboy. No, don't do that.
Oh, don't get on OnlyFans and start an account. Please do not do any of these things.
Unless you're signing up for mine. You spend all the money you want there.
He's kidding. He doesn't have an OnlyFans.
No.
Not that we're gonna advertise anyway.
No, no. Um, one day we can all have goals.
JamesGoldenFeet.com.
You're gonna love these babies. They look like monkey feet. They grab stuff.
Playing with your new cat.
She's I got a little box over here that her I have his food in, his cat food specifically.
Yeah.
So right now she's just staring in there looking at the bowl that is like beyond her reach. You know, you know how it's got the flaps on the lid, so as she tries to
Oh,
go in, it like
so only the
it's
cat
like
can go in.
yeah.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's creative.
Um,
That's creative.
yeah.
So was it your goal to get a new pet, or did you just decide, well, I'll just take you in?
Man, it's exactly like that. Yeah. I went outside bright and early one morning. I mean, it wasn't even bright, it was dark and early. And I hear a cat meowing. Kaya immediately goes and finds this animal, right?
Yeah.
I pick it up. It's got no flea collar. It's got some scabs on it. You know, it's got
Oh,
no collar of any kind.
yeah.
Uh, and it just you know that these animals keep finding me in the parking lot. I'm gonna have a whole flock, you know. But you know, I did weigh that a little bit. It's like, can I afford the little bit for cat food, cat litter? Uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, um, is I made sure that they got along real well too, because that wasn't gonna be a thing that I ruined in my life, my own harmony in my world. But I can handle a cat sitting on my belly, cheering up my day, and then
Yeah.
they occasionally play together. That works for me. So I know it wouldn't detract from my happiness. I
Oh
was
yeah.
considering all these things, trying to make sure that again, because like my ultimate goal in life is sobriety right now, until it becomes something that I never even think about again. Um,
Cats are good for sobriety, I see.
mhm.
I adore my two cats. Uh, they
Yeah,
they have they've been great comfort to me during times of loneliness, and I just adore my cats. I'm glad you got a cat. That's cool.
yeah. They play together real nice. Um, it's a different kind of snuggling they give you. I mean, Kai's a good snuggler, but uh, cat cats kind of seem like they want to just be on you, something like that.
Yeah, they
Readily
do.
available. petting.
If you lay on your belly, she might lay on your belly. I mean, if you lay on your
Yeah,
back, rather. That's what I meant to say.
yeah.
Lay on your back
I
at
don't know.
night.
Did I send you that picture of her on my neck?
Yeah.
She was he was asleep, man. Uh,
He likes you.
all right. So, we've been brainstorming a little bit about ways toward financial success. You know, one of those goals might be to have to make some more money. Maybe you're overextended, and uh, a path to making more money, unfortunately, get another job, get a new job, get a second job. Not fun prospects, but uh, that would be one of those little things, little bullet points on our list here in our brainstorm of financial freedom, financial success. Um, you know, like a budget is one of those that my mom has told me a million times through life. You need to make a budget. She doesn't sound like that, but I'm just doing like that's what moms sound like.
Have you ever tried the envelope system where you get your money in cash and you put it into an envelope, like put your rent money in
Uh-huh.
there, and you put your eating out money into a different envelope, you put your electricity money and your gas money into a different envelope, your girlfriend
Yeah.
money into a different envelope, your dating life,
Your
what have you.
your girlfriend envelope's a thick envelope.
That girlfriend envelope's the only envelope.
Just kidding.
Alexis might hate
Yeah,
this later. She won't mind, but
yeah. The envelope system. I've tried it a little bit, and I think the only time I succeeded with that is on vacation to a casino
yeah.
for a week. Like I'll put a whatever my gambling money for that day is in each day, and then if I run out, then I go by the pool till the next day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll spend some time in that hotel with the free TV, not the pay TV.
No adult channels.
Uh, uh,
Oh, we always browse by them as men. We're checking out those channels
just,
in the hotel.
I
We get in the hotel. What else we got here? Some Skinamax? Oh yeah, I got that for later.
no, it's always
August.
some goofy channel like Cowboy Cabaret or something like that. Cowgirl Cabaret, actually.
Got a
Uh,
place in town.
oh, that is a place in Vegas. Wait a minute. Uh, yeah. So now we've broken all this down into smaller, more digestible pieces. Then you can start to work on each one of those. And so if you need to write down like the goal being to spend less money at a convenience store, everything's super expensive there, right? If we need to make this all even smaller, just how to spend less money there. Well, I mean, a very easy way, if you're going to get the same thing, drive to the grocery store and buy that $5 energy drink at the grocery store for $3. Uh, your sodas, any of those kinds of things, your snacks, like uh, you know, instead of paying $17 for a bag of beef jerky at the convenience store, you can pay 11 at the grocery store. And that's a small step to achieving that micro goal of spending less money at the convenience store. Yeah. So those alternatives, those are part of your plan um, that you put in an order of priority, uh, somewhat in order of achievability as well. And then as you're working on all these things across the board, all these micro steps, you're slowly accomplishing major steps and then your total goal. I feel like I need to make a goal. I mean, we just talked about the finance stuff, and that's just constantly an active goal for me. But I've never I've never forced it upon myself to write it out thoroughly, make down tiny steps, because there are a lot of small areas in all of our lives financially that we can do better. I mean, what if I canceled my Amazon Prime account? You know, that's like $1,000 easy every month right there.
Oh, you.
on bull on bullshit like trail cameras and stuff.
Oh no, you
Like,
could cancel your Prime account and still use Amazon.
yeah,
You just have to pay extra for shipping.
yeah. Um,
But yeah, if you could get yourself kicked off of Amazon, that might save you a ton of money.
wonder how one goes to get kicked off of
Write a
Amazon.
threatening email to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, sell me one more thing, Mr. Bezos. Let's see what else I got down here. I was going back a little bit to to our home field of sobriety.
Mhm.
I have a micro goal there of don't add poison to your body. In a way, you know, these are poison, and I noticed that if I have a day where I'm drinking those guys, I'm not drinking water, um, it's going to have a negative effect. I'm going to feel some sort of anxiety, a sense of uneasiness, a sense of this energy trying to do something, and I got nothing to do. Um, so you want to avoid making uh, the avoidance of these things one of your goals in sobriety. The financial success is a micro goal within sobriety. Um, Taking care of yourself is a micro goal. So like the funny thing about sobriety being a number one goal for me is that it really uh, has an umbrella over the rest of the other goals in my life. It sort of made me aware of in my brainstorming about sobriety, the other parts of my life that I need to do work on in order to maintain my sobriety. You know, like say if my priority is my health, my well-being, uh, growing as a person, all of that still falls under the umbrella of sobriety, because I can't achieve any of these goals if I I am not a sober person. Uh, Financially, you mentioned it earlier, but if I'm spending $15 a day on alcohol, um, and the same on marijuana, you know, that's hundreds of dollars by the end of the month that is adding a stress into your wallet and potentially putting you at risk of having a relapse. If if you're broken and all you have is a jar of pennies, the temptation to go turn that into a beer to ease your anxiety because you have no money or whatever is a very easy step to botch. I got a bunch of air in there. Ever feel like you forget to get rid of half of the air in your lungs and you're just like up here talking, you know? That's what I was doing right there. Um, you know, so it's all finding all the parts of your life that make up what makes me sober, and then working on each one of those. And as I'm doing that, so many opportunities present themselves. If for example, me as a sober person, uh, I, I hear an event coming up, right? Somebody's having a game night at their house. I'm like, oh, that's the opportunity. That's something that I can do that is essentially leading toward my goal of sobriety. Um, then many things happen. You're at somebody's house, you're killing a few hours of the day in a sober manner. You're having good conversation, good conversation in the right direction of sobriety, because everybody's talking about a similar thing, um, if they're struggling, if they're having any kind of issue, we all talk about it. And all these groups, that's one of the reason why these groups are so good, is because you always have a platform to confess your needs, desires, worries, your hopes, your dreams, all that kind of stuff. Um, and part of that is it makes you aware of it. It makes your support group aware of it, and becomes one of those building blocks into ultimately taking better care of yourself, ultimate sobriety.
I would agree.
So I've been finding all kinds of activities. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, the last few days after getting back from the camping trip, and we'll see, that was one of my activities, going to Eureka Springs, uh, making a whole weekend disappear with some wholesome activities, and sober fun, like testing out a bunch of camping gear, uh, cooking stuff on the campfire, drinking a lot of water. It was hot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I imagine so.
went fishing a few times. Uh, played some music out there. Brought my guitar and played some songs. It's like anything that you can do that is ultimately a good activity, uh, becomes it becomes a goal that I'm inadvertently doing anyway. I don't. It's like just the idea of going camp and all these other things happen
Hmm.
along with that.
Yeah. AA is a great place to meet people. You meet sober people there, people interested in staying sober, have like-mindedness about that, as opposed to meeting people out at a club. Maybe they're probably already intoxicated. Not the best place to meet people who want to stay sober. If you want to meet sober people, go to AA for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think, I mean, that's a really good note. I don't know what presumptions people have about AA that haven't been to AA, but I think some of mine that, it's like I'm gonna go and hang out with a bunch of drunkards, you know, people that don't have their shit together, that are messed up, something like that. Uh, not overtly, I didn't really think that, but um, what you find there is a bunch of warm, loving, caring people that are all trying really hard and putting that effort and work uh, toward this goal, toward their sobriety. Uh, so I mean, I don't know where I was going other than to say that don't let that be something that deters you from going to one of these groups. Don't think you're too good for anything. Don't think you're too good for rehab. Don't think you're too good to go to the emergency room for drinking. Um, work hard at this. Do whatever's necessary, and everything will start to fall together and become more productive. You'll take better care of yourself. You'll have more hobbies. You'll make more friends. And then before you know it, you're not a totally different person, but you're that same person that you should have been all along, the same person with a clear mind, the same person that doesn't have guilt all the time because you're doing the bad thing instead of the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You will still be the same you, but you will be a changed person. You'll feel a lot better about your life. Change these variables.
Yeah.
Meeting James.
Yeah. Yeah. I always thought that I'd never be able to enjoy video games as a sober person. No weed, no alcohol. Be like, I can't enjoy these things. Um, but you know, before I knew it, I was just working on my life myself, and I'm enjoying playing these things more than I ever was before. I'm actually reading the text and getting into the story and taking my time with it, not just I don't even know how I was doing it intoxicated before. I know I wasn't reading any dialogue. I was just clicking that box, get me to the action or something like that.
Get to the adventure.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, my substance use drove a lot of my video gaming and streaming last year. And I had kind of a connotation with methamphetamine and video gaming, and I got to the point where I gave away my computer. I was like, I just don't even want this right now. It's too complicated. It just complicates my life, and I'm chasing my sobriety. Um,
uh,
I totally get that. I can understand how you can be concerned about that, but I've had some fun playing video games lately without substance.
yeah,
I am
I've,
on day number 26 in my sobriety path. I've been 26 days without meth. So,
that's beautiful, man.
relaxing just a tiny bit, celebrating just a bit.
Do you feel like it's becoming less and less in the forefront of your mind,
Yes.
or do you? Yeah,
I think that it will definitely change more when I move out of the neighborhood that I currently live in. Um,
yeah, that's hard.
but it's much less on my mind. I don't often have the cravings that I had maybe even just a week or two ago. The cravings have gone away significantly.
Yeah,
Doing good.
yeah. My my cravings for alcohol were always. I don't know if there ever was a craving other than craving being messed up, being drunk, having a buzz. And I
Yeah.
knew that drinking the thing would give me to that. So that's kind of like what my cravings were like. But then luckily they passed pretty quickly. And I see a lot of people in AA that they're saying, like, does this get easier? Does it get easier? Um, it's
Big
like how they've been going through that struggle for months, and that's kind of part of the you have to bite down and go through the suffering a little bit if you're in that stage of quitting.
yes. I'd like to encourage people to climb out of that hole that they're in, do whatever it takes to climb out. And yeah, maybe your finances are causing you great amounts of anxiety and stress. And the only reason you have that anxiety, stress, and financial problem is because of your substance use. Like James was saying, if you're spending $30 a day on substance, that's 300 a month. That money could be going on, towards your dinner table. Could be going towards your debt, helping you climb out of the hole of debt. We can talk about some strategies for financial. I feel like maybe we could do a financial meeting, a couple of maybe a month or two, and have some good tips for. I like for snowballing out of debt. I like the snowball method for getting out of debt. You choose your make your minimum payments on all your bills except for the smallest one, your smallest debt, the one you can pay off the fastest, applying a certain amount of money. You get that one paid off, you roll it down to the next one, your next
Oh,
largest one.
that's
Pay off
good.
your debt that
I
way.
haven't heard of that one.
Talk more about that.
uh, you talked about moving out of uh your place because of the detriment toward your sobriety being
Yeah,
there.
it's just a neighborhood where I see people on the streets, and I often think, is that person high? Are they going to come over here and attack me? That type of thing.
Yeah.
And I also have a
Uh,
neighbor that I have the knowledge that is all up in it, and she's often seeming like she's high, and it does trigger me a little bit to see that. See her,
uh,
she'll be power walking down the street in little clothing, very little clothing, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's got to be high.
just on a meth journey.
Yeah.
We're on an adventure.
Well,
Yeah.
I think she's want to exercise and get her youth back. She's
Oh yeah.
Needs to quit meth in order to get her youth back.
Yeah, we live in a precarious place for sobriety. Yeah, I go out my door and immediately on the table that's out there there are two or three empty beer cans, probably a couple of roaches for marijuana. There for the first few days, it definitely kept reminding me, but now it's like I've crossed over and I'm like, yeah, thank God that's not me. Those are my beers. I'm not doing that bullshit,
Right.
killing myself slowly every day.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let them
but
kill their liver. No, bring
yeah.
them into our fold. Tell them about our meetings. Tell them it's just John and I. We're lowly. Y'all should come join our meetings on Saturdays.
But I have down here, it's a common thing in A, but your people, places, and things, right? And you'd mentioned places, which brought me back to this note, but it's like people, places, and things. Both of those, or both of those, all three of those are essentially small goals in this big goal that we have. If we break it down further, changing our place, just having that one goal. If we put that up there,
Yes.
I want to change my place, and I think we both share that goal to some degree.
Yes.
Um, and that's a hard one for a lot of people. I mean, I know how hard it is right now because I'm not going to get approved for some nice place. I'm only going to get approved for some place in a rundown area with a bunch of drugs and stuff going around. Uh, so but then it ties it back all together. I could potentially do that one day if I was better with my finances. As part of being better with my finances, I worked on my credit and was able to get that approval. And that's a smaller goal that I know that you've taken steps in to improve your credit so that eventually you can change your place so that you are able to better maintain your sobriety.
I'm using an app called Credit Karma, and I signed up for their full suite. So far, my credit score's gone up 50 points.
Wow,
Nothing too
nice.
crazy, but that's in about a month. They have a
Uh-huh.
program called Credit Builder, and what it does, it borrows amount of money. It borrows money from your savings account, and God, am I going to do a terrible job of explaining the rest of it? But it basically, I think it deposits your money borrowed into a CD, and then gives you an opportunity to cash out at $500. So, and then you get a positive credit report rating for making the payment into the CD. So they can give you a positive rating one time per month, and you're
Uh-huh.
also simultaneously saving money.
Yeah,
I
that's
signed up
killer.
for their whole gig. My first direct deposit is supposed to go into that account very soon.
Yeah, fantastic. I need to get on something like that. I mean, for me, underneath that, I need to have some other big challenges to even be able to start working on my credit. Um, like my child support comes directly out of my VA check, but for some reason, uh, the the child support department hasn't connected the dots, so they keep sending me these bills and they're like, "You're late on this," and like, then it goes on my credit. And then like the same thing with my house in Connecticut. Um,
What?
yeah, right.
Oh, you're getting dinged
Uh,
on your credit score for late child support payments when they're being taken out of your payment, taken out of your
yeah,
check.
right.
Oh man, that's not right.
And then my house in Connecticut, the forbearance fell through, so then we ended up negative $50,000 on that right out the gate, and that's just hit my credit every month. So it's like not a lot I can do yet. I mean, I'm slowly working on each of those. Uh, come the week, this coming week, work week, I'll call the child support people again and send them the documentation again and be like, hey, are we finally going to connect these dots? And hopefully that'll work out. And And then I can use one of those credit apps like you're talking about where you can actually what is it called whenever it's like you put a question on one of those things that's on your credit report.
Oh yeah, when you
Yeah,
that's
it's like
called when you contest it. Test it.
yeah, there you go. That's perfect. And then the 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 it being contested wouldn't have that response that would keep it on there. They just wouldn't respond to it, and then after 90 days, it would disappear.
Drops off. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so I got a bunch of small steps for that. I should probably more thoroughly brainstorm and put in action every day something to work toward those goals. A lot of times, those are the things that stress me out, that make me feel uneasy. Um, and one that just surprises me over and over again for my overall comfort in life is drinking more water.
Yeah.
It blows my mind how that's like the drug that we should have been using as humans this whole time, and when we've just been avoiding it.
Oh,
What's up, Scott?
Yes.
hey Scott. Good morning.
Uh, Actually, it's afternoon. I'm in Florida.
Oh,
Oh
you're in
no.
Florida. Nice.
Yeah, I'm visiting a friend down here, and so I had a red eye out last night. I'm pretty beat, so
Yeah.
I may not be on the full call.
Oh, it's okay. No worries. We're
Uh,
kind of just wrapping it
Yeah.
up, actually. We've been
yeah,
talking for a little while. How are you
I
doing,
think the time
Scott?
zone.
Pretty beat, you said. Doggy.
Yeah, well, I flew out at 10 o'clock last night and didn't get in here till 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh
Oh
wow,
gosh.
Yeah, I had to
that's a lot.
flew 5 hours from Seattle to Boston, and then another 3.5 from Boston to West Palm.
And then you get
So,
that bonus time in the airport.
well, I had a good 3 hours at the airport waiting for my first flight, but then it ran late, and so I only had 45 minutes in the other airport as I sprinted
Yeah. Why does
across
it
the
always arrange
terminal.
that way? It's either 6 hour wait or you better move it. You got to get there. Yeah, I had a lot of that with the military. Uh, all of us running from one flight to another flight trying to get to there. Nothing worse than missing a flight that the military arranged. Then you gotta have answers, excuses, and whatnot. So we were moving quick. Luckily, we were all in shape at that time. Yeah, we just about wrapped up our hour up
Oh,
there,
okay.
but
Yeah, the
that's
time change has me a little off too. So,
yeah, no worries about it. Our subject today was making goals, and then of course the process of achieving those goals. Centered a lot around sobriety as well, but um, as I mentioned earlier, sobriety is sort of one of those things that underneath the umbrella of sobriety, all of these other goals, like how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your finances, how you make forward progress with yourself, they all sort of come from the stance of being a sober person. You can't
right.
achieve any of these things. But I didn't know if you had anything on your mind. I'll give you a chance
I
to
did not. I was not able to prep for this one at all because of the travel. So,
yeah.
I was just gonna hang back and let you guys lead. So I guess once John gets it posted, I'll hang back and just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
All
check it out
right.
on YouTube.
Well, you want to go ahead and close down the stream, John?
Yeah, I'll close it out, guys. Thanks for
All
watching.
right. Yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope we helped you in some way. Uh, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Try to get these goals achieved. Break them down into smaller goals that you can more easily do, and you'll get there. Stay sober, work hard. Love y'all. Happy birthday.